From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Our radio.
Nonini 2003 chukua yambie wekamu. Kwani nini? Ujamona matika mwambia kamu, mwambia kuje. Leoni, Leoni, Leo, 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 Leoni, Leoni, Leo, 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 Leoni.
Kwa keza kamu, stoki hapa
Wekamu,
kwa hivyo ukitaka
wekamu.
Leoni kwa keza kamu, stoki hapa
Wekamu,
kwa hivyo ukitaka
wekamu. Home leo utanipata jo, sitatoka kuandika ngoma, si unajua siwezi choka. Miezi 6 nimekuwa kwa studio nikishughulikia ngoma yako wekamu, si unaisikia vile iko poa. Kwanza kabisa hebu hiyo jako yako toa, kuna sirioto laza like niambia toboa. Ushaiguzwa mali jo kasikia kukojoa, leo mimi na wewe au sio? Poa poa, umesahau home ambia ule konkodi atakudondoa. Kwetu hapo nje na gate yetu si ya blue, ni orange start flow, angalia tu juu. Lakini uchungu kunikalifuata unaweza shuku, wewe ni mgonduka katwa shingo style ya kuku. Hiyo chako inachemshwa waziwa na kunywa supu, ndio tema chupa zimevunjika mguu tupu. Jijifanye suku, sabu yako tu, sabu yako tu.
kwa keza kamu, stoki hapa
Wekamu,
kwa hivyo ukitaka
wekamu.
Leoni kwa keza kamu, stoki hapa
Wekamu,
kwa hivyo ukitaka
wekamu. Ushaichotwa na gari? Nipo sana za kucheki nikaa nimechotwa na gari. Niambie leo tutakaa mto tafadhali. Homa kuna bathtub shower afadhali. Leo lazima nibambie wapi kwa bafu. Leo lazima nibambie wapi kwa bafu. Na rounding kombele usifanye niongee uchafu. Kali yako ni lazima tajua maana ya bafu chafu. Nyama choma leo tunaikula hivyo kavu kavu. Wekamu tu, wekamu tu. Wewe ni mpoa tu sana muona cho uendagi. Na kaa uenda kitu toka nike kiasi yake. Krima upapo na useme cho move utabangi. Kutoka home leo nywele yako itakuwa shaki. Mtoto kuliza ulikuwa wapi? Utasema nini? Utasema nini? Niko natuma salamu kwa baba na mama kwa kila nene.
kwa keza kamu, stoki hapa
Wekamu,
kwa hivyo ukitaka
wekamu.
Leoni kwa keza kamu, stoki hapa
Wekamu,
kwa hivyo ukitaka
wekamu. Na football hapa na napika, na usivae jinsi imekushika. Juu ya meza leo lazima utakatika, bila kitu tukisikiza maneno kuisha. Na kuje peke yako
maneno kuisha, maneno kuisha, maneno kuroga kuisha, kuna mtu anatuona.
tukisikiza maneno kuisha. Na kuje peke yako jo, sikuje na beste zako. Sitaki kombi leo na kutaka wewe peke yako. Useme unaenda wapi, sitaki noma na matako. Sema unaenda laibu, sitaki noma na budako. Anjua sini mabeste leo ni poa. Nikifungua mlango tu hivi anza kutoa. Sinakumbuka ile chakula nilikwambia inaweza ngoja. Kuna nyingine tamu hapo kitaka unaweza onja. Pole pole jo ujui inaweza kunyonga. Umecheza mingi kwa mdomo mpaka shindwa kubonga. Tulia 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 tulia, wacha kafungue mlango kuna mtu anagonga.
Niko kwa keza kamu, stoki hapa
Wekamu,
kwa hivyo ukitaka
wekamu.
Leoni kwa keza kamu, stoki hapa
Wekamu,
kwa hivyo ukitaka
wekamu.
Leoni kwa keza stoki hapa kwa hivyo ukitaka
Mina mtoto wekamu, ushe watch baby boy wekamu. Yoko ndo taruka wekamu, au sio jua kali wekamu. Kauna mtoto le mwambie wekamu, mpigie simu na mwambie wekamu, mpigie simu na mwambie wekamu. Hata kama ni kama wekamu, hata wacha story ya madha wekamu, wacha story ya mzee wekamu, wacha story ya chani ya wekamu.
Leoni kwa keza kamu, stoki hapa
Wekamu,
kwa hivyo ukitaka
wekamu.
Leoni kwa keza kamu, stoki hapa
Wekamu,
kwa hivyo ukitaka
wekamu.
Niko kwa
From
keza
sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
kwa hivyo akikwa
Wekamu.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Power Radio.
Hola, 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 hola. Good morning, good people. My goodness, it's so good to be here. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend your morning with us. It is the 28th of April. The year is still 2026 on a very, very gloomy Wednesday morning. My goodness. I don't know. The disorganization that happens whenever it rains in Nairobi is something that I've never quite understood. And I know that I think we'll need a million of years to decipher exactly what the problem is, because talk about traffic, the flooding right now hakupitiki hapo around Koja because things are looking quite hectic as well. Then we also have the schools, kids are back to school, so traffic is double the trouble. And then, with my afro, I also don't want to get rained on, guys. I do not know. I do not understand. But the show must go on. We are here. You're just in time. You're just in time for the Power Morning Drive Show. Kama kawaida, this is where you make your mornings count. Yes, indeed. Even when the weather is looking as it's looking, the show must go on. And we are here in the business to ensure that you have a nice and cozy, nice and easy start to your morning. How about we tell you what is coming up on today's show? Of course, I'm going to look at the situations on the roads because, my goodness, I have told you, and it's expected. Everybody comes out to play when it is raining. It's Ubers left, right, and center. Everybody wants to get where they are going quicker, so traffic becomes a little bit crazier. So we are going to look at what the roads are looking like this morning, and then we will also get into what has been happening. I will look give a quick look at the newspapers today, just peruse through the dailies, and then today we are going to be hosting the one and only Esther Muthoni, or Muthoni the Muse as she goes on her Instagram. She's a poet and also the founder of the Penmanship. Now, what she's doing, which is incredible, together with a couple of amazing artists, that's photographers as well as poets, they've come together to put together an event or some sort of an arts exhibition that fuses poetry and photography together to bring alive some of the experiences of these artists as well. So we are going to be getting into those details much later on as soon as she gets here. But let me go straight into what the roads are looking like. And everywhere is painted red, and I'm not even overdoing it. It's looking hectic this morning. Starting off with the Thika Superhighway, kumeshikana bumper to bumper all the way from Garden City Mall as you make your way towards the Globe Roundabout. The same situation also happening along Kiambu Road. The pockets of traffic are started all the way from the Thindigwa area, just as you make your way from the Quickmart Thindigwa. And then we also have a little bit of some traffic as you make your way towards the Siata City Mall in Ridgeway. Then inena kushikana pale hivyo DCI again. Why? The rain. And it's going to continue showering today. I promise you that it will. Limuru Road, not any different. The same situation from Village Market as you make your way towards town. Things are looking bumper to bumper as well. This same situation also happening along Parklands, Lower Kabete Road from Zen Garden down towards Spring Valley Police Station all the way towards Westlands. Things are absolutely chaotic this morning. We also have the same situation also happening along Peponi Road from the Ankole Grill area, Kitsuru, down towards Westgate Shopping Mall. Things are absolutely crazy. Ojija Road, guys, lock in because it's looking quite hectic this morning. Wanyoike Way is also very busy from the ABC Place down towards Westlands. That whole front looking quite busy. Ring Road, Westlands, things are looking no. So we have Ring Road, Westlands, that spills over towards Ring Road, Kileleshwa, also looking not too good this morning. Dennis Pritt Road pia kumeshikana bumper to bumper. Same situation along the Kileleshwa Avenue down towards the Olenguroini Road. Kumeshikana bumper to bumper. That whole stretch of James Gishuru Road towards Lavington Mall, things are looking very busy. Naivasha Road also nothing same situation. The traffic builds up as you make your way from the Naivas rerouter all the way down towards Ngong Road, which also Ngong Road imeanza kushikana bumper to bumper all the way towards the Adams Arcade area. So actually the whole stretch of Ngong Road is a mess this morning. Let me look at what's happening along Langata Road. As expected, it's also very, very busy with pockets of traffic as you make your way from Galleria Mall down towards the T-Mall roundabout, which also spills over incidentally towards Raila Odinga Road. All that stretch pia, things are quite busy. Right, Mombasa Road, the traffic starts all the way from Imara Daima as you make your way towards the Next Gen Mall. Imeenda kushikania huko Nairobi West Hospital. So you guys just lock in. I know you will be out in no time, but as it's looking like today, things are looking very, very tight in major roads across this pockets of the city. But in case where you are, and I've not mentioned, I've not mentioned Jogoo Road, which pia both ways actually into town, outbound as well. Things are looking very busy. Gikomba the same, Ngara the same, Parklands the same. My goodness, Outer Ring Road. Oh, it's just know that there's traffic across all the roads this morning, unless where you are at, there's nothing much happening. So please do let us know. The hashtag to use is hashtag Power Morning Drive, and we'll see you just in a moment. For now, let's jump into some music. When we come back, I get to look at some of the news making headlines on our dailies. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
Our radio. This man think he's a Casanova. Man think he's a operator. One lie, the man he is private. Man goya poesha. Showing up with this fancy car. Showing up with this fancy house. Lako bossa ni moja. Wafikiri wanitisha. So he buy me a drink or two and expect me to go home with you. So mnyoma take a good look. Songa mbele, pole pole. Chunga brother usiteleze. Skiza basi nikueleze.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Na vitu mwaka amshimata ni kubaya mwaka mpya mambo mapya okay bapeti balobakito oyeza makamosika tozana système ya kufu ikobomba gauche arake mwana bucha nasikia makelele next door kumbe kuna party mimi sijui nasty amka wacha kulala bro situvae faster now here we go huko ndani naona kuna watoto wamevua nguo eti kuna joto rumba sakata kamata madada tamu kama kashata sababu leo ni fiesta forever mambo vipi utaweza basi tutacheza together mpaka asubuhi hakuna kwenda okay Mr. DJ zimata sasa kila mtu ameshikwa na furaha get up everybody stand up kila mtu party katika sakata nimba all night long katika party katika sakata nimba all night long katika sister yule brother na uncle sasa ni wakati sote twende dance floor tuicheze super katwake jasho usibaki nyuma shika mazi yako let's go it's a party time nasty Thomas na Mustafa tunawapa run tunawapa run nasty Thomas na Mustafa tunawapa run on y va tu veux danser avec moi je veux danser avec toi tu veux danser avec moi je veux danser avec toi tu veux danser avec moi je veux danser avec toi je veux danser avec moi je veux danser avec toi International David Obanjo Dickenes Waka Captain Kamunge Akatembera Bizisu Sanite Mr. Tito Akatembera International nimeshika champagne Mustafa na mabling bling chain chungu nzima uko nje kapa kimejaa tu mabima je una shida kicheki Rolex yangu inaniambia saa 9 sibuti nilibuy the rock ngiri 9 perfume zinatupa mbele zinawaka sasa kutaka party katika Carnivore DJ Babs dancing spoon all night long katika party katika all night long mwana bucha all night long
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
A fire burning inside me. Oh, and this fire awinjo kaya motera mama paro biro nega kaneno jangware buonjo kodi rama pile ochuno kora weni nimejita mikutano niwe abebo ka ochunya aworo mama herana mari mama opongo chunya amora chalo nyarombo kiranga tibuonjo kiwangi. And I'm falling in love with you, and it feels so good to know that you love me too. I'm falling in love with you, and it feels so good to know that you love me too.
And now I wanna sing this song to you. I wanna see the world now where oh wangayale samika loka ya imi odeda chakore. And I wanna sing this song to you. I wanna see the world now where wangayale samika loka ya imi odeda chakore. Ilomba, usiona chunya gobi. My heart feels at home when I'm with you. Ilomba, usiona chunya gobi. My heart feels at home when I'm with you. Ilomba, usiona chunya gobi. My heart feels at home when I'm with you. Ilomba, usiona I go be my heart feels at home when I'm with you. Ilomba, usiona I go be my heart feels at home when I'm with you. Ilomba, usiona I go be my heart feels at home when I'm with you. Ilomba, usiona I go be my heart feels at home when I'm with you. Ilomba, usiona
Chunya go, Chunya feels at home when I'm with you.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
Oga onyamali oga onjurage koro oga ondige taitare nakene oga guwathi oga umelie ndetoro oga ondige taitare nakene
Dogo sirie, dogo uge kadom ono, dina shamu kyama koshine. Dogo sirie, dogo uge kadom ono, dino ero yoro ajora kuteme.
Nigoria no kautia oya we utagira
ya que estaba yo fío, wana uja ore kuo, yate. Jamanyone kuedete, nige yo kwa hoka.
Na jamanyone ikekate, tupike soka no. Igwa takote bao. Yo no jigueruo. Igwa takote bao. Yo no jigueruo.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gents. That is Mutoria alongside Muringi and No. I'm sorry, I don't know why I always confuse their voices. I think it's just because of how nice they sound. Yes, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive show. Remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media platforms. We are Power Radio across all socials. Find us there if you can. You can also get us on our YouTube channel. We are Power Radio. Please subscribe. Hit on that notification bell. We've got a lot of goodies coming up your way. Actually, something big is coming. I'll tell you all about it. We have some new, two exciting not news updates. I think, good news. Let me just say that. Good news happening or coming to you from this table of Power Radio. So you have to stick around to the end so that I tell you what is the big thing that's happening. But I don't want to announce it yet. I'm just going to give you like a clue so that you keep guessing, and soon it will be manifesting. And I know that you're going to be super excited about that. All right. Now that is done, let me look at some of the news headlines that our dailies are leading with this morning. And we start with the Daily Nation. We have a couple of stories here. The Daily Nation, the first story being why mineral-rich Africa must invest in refineries to reap big from wealth. We also have a story on relief for teachers as SHA scraps co-payments and unlocks overseas treatment. We also have a story about stakes shocking admission on CBE, and a little write-up on that is nearly 3 out of 4 grade 3 learners cannot perform basic mathematics, according to a report by the Kenya National Examinations Council, which also reveals more than half are struggling with basic English literacy. These findings by the state agency mirror civil society reports and raise fresh concerns about the state of foundational learning under the competency-based education system. Oh, now that's very worrying. And some of the data that has been captured here is 21.4% only. 21.4% of learners in refugee host counties and 28% of learners with visual impairment in age-based special schools attained the benchmark, right? That should be something that is worrying. Then we also have nationally 26.8% of learners met expectations in foundational numeracy skills. Then nationally, only 41.4% of grade 3 learners achieved the minimum benchmark in English literacy. Now, some of the proportion of learners who achieved the English literacy benchmark, and this is on that percentage, we have some counties like Turkana with 18.5%, also Isiolo with 18.4%, and shortly after that we have West Pokot with 15.6%. Then for the refugee host counties, which is informal settlements, Vihiga, Busia, and Marsabit, they also come in with the lowest percent being 14% and the highest of them being 26%. Now, I think I am not so sure that this is something shocking, because the Daily Nation says that, it's a shocking details that are emerging on the competency-based education. And beyond even it, let's even look at the whole idea of the CBE. Now, it came about to kind of it was supposed to be a replacement of CBC, and CBC, I don't even know why we moved so quickly from CBC, because here had come an education system that was apparently supposedly supposed to be holistic enough, make sure that there is enough training for learners to create a holistic learner. So we had a lot of emphasis on the talents of these kids. That's why I remember there was a lot of parodies and gimmicks from the parents of CBC, saying that they are being made to make some absurd things, right? So the CBC came, and it didn't even finish 10 years into existence. Now we already are replacing it with the CBE, or that's the competence based education system. So it gives you two things here are exposed. One, about the capacity that we have as a nation. I know that we do have the capacity, and by capacity I mean we have the exact resources that we need to ensure that we are investing in an education system that is holistic enough. Because when you look at the cracks of the CBC, what they did is that they've just replaced the name, but the same symptoms of the already failing system, education system, is the one that has been catapulted, and now we have a replacement only of the name. There's not much of a difference with how the learners are coming out, and as you've seen, that there's definitely a lot of concern when we have students not being able, leave even alone the basic mathematics bit of it, something as simple as English literacy. And I'm not saying that English literacy is the marker of whether a child is grasping the skills that are being taught in school, but it is definitely one of the ways that you can surely look at the understanding, whether understanding is being built in these learners and in these students, right? So when we have 41.4% of learners who are the only ones that are able to get to the minimum, of in terms of the minimum benchmark of the English literacy, then what about the remaining 59% or so? It means that we in a country where we are always talking about inclusion, we are always talking about creating systems that work for everybody. It means that there is a big chunk of students that are being left out in this same education system that has been apparently been set up to ensure that all learners are able to be put on a level field. Let's even not talk about just the subject itself, because I honestly do tend to think that it has never been about the subject that we go to school to learn. And when you look at even the countries of the world, I know a lot of like Baltic countries. I was looking at some documentary about the education system in countries like Switzerland and Sweden. you see how detail oriented they are, because they are not just there to propagate an education system that is colonial in nature. And of course for them, they never necessarily went through colonialism in the way that we did, but it's quite sad to see that our education system up until now, we are talking about over 60 years after independence, we are still struggling with this, like finding our foot in, finding a way around what makes sense for the Kenyan student of the 21st century, who is supposed to be a critical thinker, who is supposed to come into a system, into a Kenyan system and start thinking up solutions, that are specifically geared towards our problems here, right? And it's not, and again, don't hear what I'm not saying. Education is not just about bringing up students or learners to come up with solutions to problems. It's also about life, right? That's what education is supposed to do. It's supposed to empower us to think far and beyond, to think about some of the ways that we should show up in a world. And so when we have that being clamored, or the wings in a way are being clipped right from inception, when we have children struggling to even create a sentence, right, in English, in the first 1, 2, grade 3, grade 4, those are their formative years, right? And so we cannot afford, and I say this categorically, we can't afford to have a generation of children who, first of all, that don't have any skills of critical thinking. And it should be worrying, because again, the technology is here with us. Digitally, the world is moving at a very fast pace. We are talking about artificial intelligence, but artificial intelligence is not supposed to come and take the place of critical thinking or analytical thinking skills. Then, because what it looks like is like it has become a replacement of what we as people should exist to do, right? And so when you have kids being there's something that I read yesterday by this she calls herself the storyteller from the future. She's called Karen Palmer. She says that imperialism doesn't seize land anymore, it hacks minds. And I think this is what this is the connotation here, that the minds of our generation, our younger generations, have started being hacked. When you start seeing that children are always glued to their screens, parents, instead of taking some time to develop, whether it's communication skills with their children, whether it's giving them a book to be able to even carry and hold a conversation with their kids, the easiest thing for parents to do is, I have a deadline to finish up, so I might as well give you my iPad or my tablet or my phone so that the child can go and watch their cocomelons. But you see, there's even a study that was done, I forget who did it, but they were saying that the Gen Alphas, this is the new generation of children, they are growing so slowly, especially because, like, in terms of when we were growing up, you could find a child being able to make even proper sentences by the time they are like 1.5, 2 properly. But for now, what has happened is, because the children are so glued to their cocomelons, for example, or whatever it is, in the kids' programming, it's that they don't have that comprehension. So you find that the coordination between the mind and the mouth and back, there's not a lot of comprehension. And where has that led us? It has led us to a situation where we are seeing this data, even if it is not something that, because with data, I always have to go and scrutinize it a little bit further. But I do tend to believe that it's even beyond what we are seeing right now in terms of the report that has come out. I'm sure that the situation is more dire, right? So that's what I'm saying. So it's not just a fight for education, or it's not just a fight for skills base, it's not just a fight for mathematic or numeracy skills, or in terms of English literacy. No, what the problem is here is there's a fight or a crackdown, I think I would call it that, on the minds of the younger generation, the minds of the people that are coming. And you see, we can't have that, especially as the bigger population, which is us, we the people. It has been known before that some of this, like for example, with the colonial education system, it was that way because the state needs a mind that is not thinking for themselves, so that they are not necessarily a problem to the state, right? So I don't know. This is about all of us coming together and rethinking, what do we need to have an education system that works for all of us and for the children, specifically for our generations to come, because as it stands, this is not a good look. This is definitely not something that we should just look and pass on by. But yeah, what do you think about it? What's your take about the education system? Should we is there something that we need to do? Of course, that's not even a question. The question is, how do we get where we need to get to? Because replacing education systems with another education system, while not even replacing the actual issues, but you're just replacing it with a new name and propelling the continuous challenges of the previous education system, that ought to be a discussion that we need to have. And then we also have the issue of these areas, right? When you talk about education in Turkana, West Pokot, Isiolo, we are talking about Vihiga, Busia, Marsabit, refugee host camps. So these are those, northeastern areas, and also education in informal settlements. There's a problem there. And I keep going back to the idea that we live in we are in a devolved nation. But this devolution does not seem as if it's working for all of us. It feels like, because you see, when you look at the counties that have been mentioned, of course students are doing badly. Turkana, West Pokot, Isiolo. There is definitely something that needs to be done to ensure that we are even talking about how do we inaitwa kusawazisha, equalizing. How do we equalize the students so that we know the learner of Turkana might not necessarily need what the learner in Nairobi needs. But when it comes to their performance, and when it comes to us putting together resources or the same investment that we need to see in our children, we do not have a lot of a big difference, because where you come from as a child, that it should not determine how your education is done, right? It's just a matter of putting more emphasis on, it needs to be needs-based, so that if, for example, a child in Nairobi, maybe their biggest issue is not necessarily hot weather, and so they are always learning under a tree. Maybe for a Nairobi student, it would be something like, creating a classroom that has maybe well-equipped classrooms, and that should also, cut across to other counties like Turkana or something like that. But we need to create that equalization bit, so that we don't have this lopsidedness when it comes to our education system. So do let me know, what do you think about this? What do you think about this education thing? But moving quite along. Yesterday was the last day of the mass voter registration by the IEBC, and a lot of people, we only have 2.5 million voter target within reach, and this was as at April 23rd. Now the Electoral and Boundaries Commission had registered 1.87 million new voters, with a late surge in turnout yesterday expected to significantly raise the numbers. The latest figures show Nairobi, Kiambu, Nakuru, and Kakamega are driving growth. But I think something that people should understand is that, because people didn't know, it's not that it's the last time that you will ever get to register as a voter. No. It's just the mass registration was closed yesterday, but there's going to be continuous voter registration, and it's going to spill over all the way towards 2027. So please let me know. Uko kadi, are you one of the people that are counted among this number of 1.8 million new voters, and are you hoping to continue looking forward to the election year, come 2027, do let me know. But that's what the Daily Nation is leading with. And then let's move on to the Standard real quickly. And the story that they're leading with is Ruto ties haunt judge. Now, Justice Katwa Kigen walked into his Supreme Court interview, his earlier Court of Appeal vetting still fresh in mind, only to be met with sustained questioning over ties with President William Ruto and his decision to seek a seat at the Apex Court barely 3 months into his role. Commissioners pressed him on whether he could be impartial in a presidential petition involving his former client, whether he would step aside and how he would respond to pressure from State House. He pushed back, insisting he would be guided by the law, but conceded that public perception of bias could still follow him if such a case landed before him. Right, yeah. We have continuous grilling of the would-be highest bidders in the justice system. They are continuing. So let's see who gets to go home with this seat. But that leads us to the end of some of our stories making headlines this morning. But for more in-depth analysis, please do make sure you grab your dailies. And I know that you will be, whatever you decide to do with the information that you find on the papers is up to you. But for now, I want us to take a quick breather. When we get back, my guest is already here with me, and we are going to talk about the penmanship when poetry meets photography. How do we think about artistry, especially when we have the fusion of two different genres coming together to sort of extrapolate different experiences? So that conversation coming up next. If you have questions, you're an artist, then you might want to know how do you go about curation of such exhibitions and such platforms. Our guest, Esther Muthoni, is this girl that has your answers. So see you in just a moment.
DJ Flozz.
Sianda ngama devi yonge mapenzi yalianzishwa na nani? Aniko na ura darongo gijali, anifafanulie kanuni gani za kujenga penzi bila kisirani? Niketo moko manyoera e kanisa mokoto yude amuna yawani kode bende good vibes gini inshallah kendo giole ni amina era jango mao na nikapata mwingine manika kimaba na manovendo dwatika ndemora bera moro masilwa angango ero kona tangola on yokolo umetla mona unyalo timona ono
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
It's so hard to leave. Sing me a song when I am gone from you. It's so hard to leave. Sing me a song when I am gone from you. I won't be gone for long. Sing me a song when I am far from you. I won't be gone for long. Sing me a song when I am far from you, far from you.
When all the lights fade and there's nowhere in the world to go, I know I would rather stay, but then again I'm unsure. Simpler times have all but faded, but I can't stay all the same. Simpler times have all but faded, but I can't stay all the same. Mama's wailing, Mongo's wailing from home. Mama's wailing, don't go away 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 from me. Mama's wailing, don't go away from me. Mama's wailing, begging you to stay. The class gathered by the road. Nowhere in the world's the same. You're better off staying home. Simpler times have all but faded. I can't stay all the same. Simpler times have all but faded. I can't stay all the same. Simpler times have all but faded. I can't stay all the same. Simpler times have all but faded. I can't stay all the same.
Gone from you. It's so hard to leave. Sing me a song when I am gone from you. I won't be gone for long. Sing me a song when I am far from you. I won't be gone for long. Sing me a song when I am far from you, far from you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
East African Wave right there with the Dala. It's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive show. My name is Wanyoike. And remember as well, you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are Power Radio across all socials. You can also find us on our website, www.power254.org/Power Radio. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really goes a long way. It goes a long way. We want to see you seeing us doing the things that we do, right? Sounds like a plan? I think it definitely does. Now, my guest is already in studio. I am joined by the one, the only Muthoni, the Muse.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, girl?
Nothing much.
Yeah, nothing much.
Is great right now. Yeah.
Fantastic. You know, she's giving us a splash of color because, the weather is looking very gray and we would need this color going on.
We have to uplift ourselves.
We
have
do.
to enjoy this life.
Yes.
Even with the rain.
We have to, even though, I was just saying that the rain in Nairobi tends to throw everybody off balance. It's traffic, it's transport, manenos, it's just a lot of dynamics,
The umbrellas on those Buddhas are working overtime.
Oh, are they? What? Are they though?
Yes. They are the reason we are dry today.
Yes, they are the reason we are here.
Umbrellas.
Thank God for those umbrellas. I guess in a work. I was even joking the other day that, if you break up with your person because of over the Nairobi rain, I wouldn't fault nobody.
Yeah.
Because,
never mind. Actually, why are we in love in this rain? There's things we have to consider in this life. Serious business.
Serious business. Yeah, serious business like penmanship.
Exactly.
And photography and poetry.
Yes.
And all the things that we are talking about today. So let's just get right into it. But for maybe, Muthoni is not a new face on the Power Morning Drive show.
Not a newcomer.
No, she's not. But we might have new people joining us, then they might not know who you are. So kindly just give them a brief introduction of who you are, and then we'll get into our conversation.
I would love to. So my name is Esther Muthoni. I am a poet, photographer, and visual artist, graphic designer. Everything for the sake of raw, deep expression is what I'm for.
Yeah.
And today we're here to talk about my beautiful poetry collective, Penmanship.
Yes. Poetry collective. So you founded Penmanship.
Yes.
How long ago was this?
So I founded Penmanship around earlier this year. So we had our first workshop in March. And the whole purpose behind Penmanship was to bridge the gap between skill and fun that I found in the poetry scene, in the sense that a lot of the spaces that are skill-oriented are very competition-based. You don't get the time to sit down and dissect the work, which is the thing I love doing most when I talk about my poetry. I love getting to connect as I talk about what I had intended for the work and my interpretations of it, while getting to learn what other people got to see from my work, getting to engage with each other, things that can't really happen with just one-off performances and with competitions. Something that you need to sit down in depth. And on top of that, other spaces that let you sit with poetry more casually, they don't rely on passing around skill. Most open mics don't have that session where you get to talk with the people who you admire, the different types of poets that you enjoy their style, you enjoy what they're up to, and you want to find a way to tap into the personal poet within and get to express it somehow. Because I found out that a lot of people are into poetry, like way more than I thought there were. Like my aunt told me the other day that she wrote poems when she was in high school and just kept them somewhere. Like a lot of people have poems in their notes app at some point in time. So getting to sit down with different styles of writing, different types of poets who get to talk to you about their personal style in a way that you can resonate with, and in a way that lets you tap into the part of you that you might have forgotten, or you might think that isn't that big of a deal. That's what penmanship is for.
Ah, nice. So so you're putting together this, poetry and photography. Is it like an exhibition?
Yes.
Okay. Is it an excuse for you to tap into both your poetic side, and also you did mention that you're also a photographer? Was it like a nice, very convenient excuse for you to kind of thrust yourself into the two worlds that you exist in?
In part, yes, because I've been working on blending the multidisciplinary things I do a bit more. In terms of, like, for the book I published, The Confessions of a Teenage Girl, you get to see the photography, the graphic design.
Which, buy the book, by the way.
Yeah, get the book.
Get the book, guys.
Get the book, guys. It's a beautiful book.
Yes.
And you get to see the combination of the graphic design and the photography in the book cover. Judge that book by its cover. I put a lot of effort into that cover. Judge it by that
You've
cover.
You've given us the permission to judge that book by its cover.
Yes, so with that, I got to blend. I like blending my disciplines in different areas of my work. For this one, it's a bit different because I wanted to tap into the poet in all of us, even in the photographers, in the idea of poetry paints pictures, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. So getting to sit down with different ways of capturing moments by either freeze framing it in a photo or by sitting down to describe it even deeper. So with pictures and paragraphs, the way we set it up, we had 2 pairs of a poet-photographer, to sit down and work on a project together this month. So I was working with the photographer Lynn Jogu, and the poet Natasha Muhanji was working with the photographer Kibenduni to sit down and come up with a poetry piece and a photo shoot based on two different themes. So one of them was the theme of light, which is mine and Lynn Jogu's, and Natasha Muhanji's and Kibe's was dark. So seeing the different ways we were able to talk about that theme and encapsulate it in a way that's immersive is the experience that we're going to be having for you on the 2nd. Where you get to see the photo slideshow, you get to see the performances, and you get to see how different disciplines can inform one another.
So the 2nd of April, this is Saturday.
2nd of May.
Oh, wait, 2nd of May, yeah. Why, what?
It's the rain, it's making us a bit slow.
Let's blame it on the rain, please. Yes, so where is it, where is it going to happen?
So it's going to be happening at Rift in Westlands.
Okay.
A beautiful party area, lovely stuff. So it's going to be happening from 5 to 8.
Okay.
Yes.
From 5 p.m. to 8. Tickets?
Tickets are at $750.
Okay.
And gate is at $900.
Where are the people getting the tickets?
Link in the Penmanship Instagram's bio, Penmanship KE.
Okay. Sawa. Great. You guys, you heard it. We'll try and link it on our description box below so that
everyone
can go.
Needs
yes,
to come.
everybody needs to come.
I am so excited. Working on this has been very fulfilling, and there's the enjoyment of getting to see an idea come to pass. As me and Lynn Jogu were sitting down to come up with the pictures and paragraphs idea of putting those together. It's beautiful seeing what was just a late night call and just some notes jotted down and seeing it actually happen, seeing the commitment of the artist to making it happen and the beautiful creativity, the beautiful things we're able to come up with. Like with the light theme, not to give away a bit too much, just to tease people
just
a bit.
Just tease
you know, flying a bit too close to the sun. That's a hint.
Yes.
We came up with something that was a bit Icarus themed, just a little.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. So when you think about, because you're fusing poetry and photography in a way, I love the interplay between, pictures are worth 1,000 words, and that kind of just like I love the idea that brings into mind. But is it something that you hope that penmanship is going to keep doing, like just finding a way of integrating poetry with other art genres, even as you go beyond? Today it's photography, tomorrow it might be something completely different.
Yes.
Yeah. And why is it important to create, I don't know, poetry is an expression by itself, but like other expressions of poetry by infusing them with other art genres in that way. Yeah.
I feel like poetry is very multifaceted. Like in the first workshop we were doing, when I was asking the poets there about the first one that we did was mostly centered on poetry itself and poetry writing.
Yeah.
And when I was with Binti Aisha and Mumu. They have very different poetic styles, but both of them attributed some of their poetic skill to rap. They talked about how Binti Aisha talked about how she listens to a lot of J. Cole, the idea of listening to small, minute things, paying attention to the things around you, looking at an orange in a market that looks extra pretty and using that as the inspiration for your writing. And Mumu talked about how his work is compared to rap a lot because of the way he delivers it. The idea that poetry gets to be tied to all these different things. It gets to be tied to the music scene. It gets to be tied to visuals. And the beauty of penmanship, which is what we want to bring out after pictures and paragraphs, is the idea of putting together poetry and everything else. Poetry has a lot of layers to it. And if the goal of penmanship is to get people to tap into the poet within them, which is so personal and specific to them, and getting to express it the way that makes them feel fulfilled, makes them feel safe to be heard, with that, we'd need to have different ways of looking at poetry. So yes, I'd be willing to tap into different things like poetry with food, poetry with music.
I would love to come to that one.
Poetry with drawing, everything. I'd love to show how different and multifaceted poetry can be to prove the idea of penmanship that there's a poet in all of us. It's up to us to let ourselves express it, let ourselves feel safe enough to be open with it.
You've heard the people who always like saying that they do not have talents. You've heard Muthoni has said that there is a poet in all of us.
Yes.
Makes some people who don't think they have talent feel a little bit better about themselves.
They should.
So they should come. They should come to penmanship.
Feel good. Feel better about yourself.
Feel better about yourself. That's
actually,
what Muthoni has said.
You should feel bad that you doubted it's there.
Okay.
Feel annoyed with yourself for that. And pick up a pen.
Okay, cool. So what are some of the explorative themes that you have played around with in the exhibition without giving too much?
Without giving too much away.
Yeah.
With the exhibition, I talked about the idea of reaching out for something that feels too much for you in the project that I came up with Linjogu. As I was sitting with the idea of light and the idea of reaching towards something that might harm you, the idea of going like a moth that keeps going to a flame, the idea of going towards something that seems dangerous for you, and the feeling of achieving something that you thought was a bit too much for you is something I was thinking about, which ties in really well with the idea of penmanship and the idea of letting people who feel more unsure about themselves and unsure about their skill to get the chance to reach out and go after the thing that feels dangerous for them. Because I've had a lot of times after a performance or after a poetry reading or an open mic where people come up to me to ask me about how do you gain this confidence? How do you get to the space where you're able to express yourself so fully? How you're able to immerse yourself in the character so fully? And in the piece that I worked on, the poetry piece that I was writing, I was sitting with the idea of immersing yourself in something, even if it feels dangerous to do, even if it feels unsafe. Kind of like calling a situationship that you know you shouldn't be calling. Like the idea of you've gone head first into something, even if it's dangerous, it's for the will they won't, it's for the possibility of the joy.
Right. So in a way, it's like the thrill of the things that could potentially ruin our lives.
Yes.
Potentially ruin our lives.
But could also make them incredible.
But could also make them incredible.
Yeah.
So is it something that is very, I guess, what's the word? I guess contingent is the word that I'm looking for with the kind of poetry that you do. Do you always seek out to want to explore these themes that are very I guess, transcendental and exploring themes that are like at tension with our human experience. For example, your example, why call a situationship when you know that it could end your life or ruin your life? Yeah, is this something that is very characteristic of some of the work that you do? Is that fun for you?
Yes, I feel like it's not necessarily at tension with the human experience. It's more like expressing the human experience. The tension might come in the fact that a lot of my work is very deeply expressive to the point of insane vulnerability, which at some point is like flying close to the sun, where you've put out your heart like this to someone to tell them you can read it now, you can see it now. And for a lot of people, that's very scary and dangerous to do. Even for myself, there's some pieces of mine that I sit with for a bit longer before I allow myself to share it with people. But I find the point of my poetry and the point of poetry is to get to connect with people, and you can't fully connect with people unless you open yourself up, unless you let yourself be vulnerable. And so with the idea of this penmanship is part of like opening yourself up. It's letting yourself be vulnerable. It's letting yourself call that situationship, hoping they pick up, or they'll just leave you in their missed call somewhere and you feel bad. And you've lost the ego trip, you've lost the fight. Yeah. It's that idea of allowing yourself to do the embarrassing thing, to do the thing that makes you human, because otherwise you're living life as a shell of yourself that you're not letting other people get to see.
By tension I meant, like it's this. There's always a tension between what you should do versus what you shouldn't do. You get, so there's a bit of a, it could be thrilling, it just depends on the perspective that you choose to go with. But like, I love your answer.
That, because vulnerability is something that's seen that way. It's seen as either something that you're doing too much about, like you're being too open. Vulnerability rubs people the wrong way, especially if they've been suppressing the thing that you're expressing openly. But at the same time, in that frustration, letting people be annoyed with you lets them sit and reflect with themselves and lets them be more likely to open up the way you do. The idea of, if you dance, you give people the permission to dance as well. You give people the openness
to judge
to
your
do
bad
it.
dancing. Because there's also that, right?
Or maybe they'll judge your bad dancing so much, even they'll sit with themselves and decide, maybe let me try.
Maybe even
I can do better.
Yeah.
And they dance as well.
Yeah.
So that's the idea with penmanship and opening yourself up to expressing your poetry, whether it goes well, whether it's received well, that's the hope, but sometimes that might not be the case. But the whole point is you're a person and you're not going to be here forever. So you might as well let people witness you in your humanity.
I love that. Right, so that's just your piece. Is there any other piece that you would tell us? Just a little.
Just a bit.
Don't give it up too much. Yeah, just a little.
I really loved the piece that Muhanji and Kibe are working on.
Okay.
I was there for the photo shoot. The poetry piece started is going to be a surprise for all of us.
Great.
But Kibe is very expressive as he takes his photos. There's something very playful about how he works on his pictures and how he captures his subjects. And so the theme being dark, it's a contrast to that. Like, it's a very playful character being made to do something very sinister and more melancholic and in that manner. So the idea of the shadow self, the idea of coming to terms with the parts of yourself that you might be shunning, which again ties in with the idea of vulnerability, getting to know yourself fully, is something that is explored a lot in the pieces he took with Muhanji.
How do we ensure that we are creating suitable environments for platforms such as penmanship, to thrive? Because it's great that you have this amazing space where you can converge and convene artists that are multidisciplinary. But I always say that we cannot get tired of creating such spaces. So today's penmanship, but we need more spaces. So what do you think needs to happen to ensure that we are pulling all the resources, the strings, to ensure that artists are not homeless in that way. That, like, let's get them off the hobo. Manze, wasanii walipwe. Yeah. And why is it so important? First, why was it so important for you to create a platform like Penmanship, but also bigger than that? Why is it so important even for the ecosystem of the creative arts to create such spaces for convening of the arts?
I think there's a combination of we have to stop gatekeeping art in Kenya. I think that's a running theme I've seen as I've been getting into the creative space more. My creativity is very multifaceted. So as I get into different spaces, the fine art space, the fashion space, the graphic design space, there's a very big difference in how artists are treated based on where they're at, because there's this sort of clicking, there's this sort of like grouping that people have formed where the opportunities go to people who are based in those groupings. So there's that, but also a lot of artists are very talented and are very good at their work, but they don't have the confidence to keep promoting it and pushing it out there. And I know this because even me, when I was pushing and promoting for Penmanship, in my head I had to keep reminding myself about the makangas or matatus who go beba, beba, beba. It's like, if they can keep shouting about their thing, let me keep shouting. It's the idea of the tension between trying to be humble versus knowing that you're good at something and allowing yourself to push it forward, which is what I want Penmanship to do, and which is why Penmanship is so important. It's the idea of letting people who have been sitting with their art for so long and holding on to it to find the courage to push it forward, to find the courage to find a stage that they can perform it at and be supported, and not just say the poem and then have some other professional poet to say theirs after, and then another one, and no one gets to sit down and learn from it, but allowing people to push in front and to learn and ask questions and reflect with themselves and actually grow from the work that they're doing. And with the clicking, having a space that's conducive for many different styles of poetry, having a space that the whole point is for us to grow together, helps counter that directly and helps us forge that way forward as artists, so that we don't have to keep holding it in sections and keeping it away from people. Poetry is something that we should all get to enjoy, so we should all have spaces where we get to push forward that confidence, which is what I want Penmanship to do.
Right. Oh, I love that. So the where do your untold stories go? This is a question that I just have been thinking about and just wanting to
It's
ask.
a lovely question.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Where do your untold stories go?
My untold stories?
Yeah.
I think there's parts of them that go in calls with my friends. Like, there's a best friend of mine I'll call, and we'll talk, and then we'll say some stuff that I'm like, you've said something intelligent.
Right?
Like, and it won't go like many places. Like, I won't put it anywhere. I might write it in my notes app, but that's where the stories go. Or I'll be talking to the aunt who I told you had, like, she used to do poems in high school. The one time I talked to her and she said something about how the sun isn't bragging, the sun is just the sun. And she's talking about how the lion eats meat despite the economy, like the idea of going after what you want.
I love that.
Yeah, like going after what you want boldly and openly despite what's around you. I'd say those things that tie into my story, a lot of the untold stories I have go into myself and how I act, and if not, they go into how I speak to people. Like, they go into how I speak to people in the backstories behind the poems. That's where they go. Like, there's a poem I wrote one time about hope, and it was about how hope is undying, and I used the metaphor of a cockerel whose head has been cut off and is still running around. Like, the idea of it's refused to die. The same way, hope about something that you feel is impossible, a lot of the times it refuses to go away. It just keeps pestering you. And so the untold stories go in the idea behind it. That one is one that I'd say I say sometimes, but the experience of me sitting down when I was like 5 years old and looking at a cockerel's head on the floor and it's blinking at me, that's one of the things humor. I can't sit down and express it is
so
very funny.
Yeah.
And it's something that I can't sit down and express as fully as I could in that poem.
Correct.
And a lot of the untold stories are in my other poems, in my articles that I'll keep somewhere until I'm ready to express it to everyone, until I'm ready to let that part of my heart be shown to people. Yeah, that's where I'd say my untold stories go.
Yeah. Well, we are in good luck because you have some stories that you would like to tell us. I want to put you on the spot here, and I want you to read out some of the pieces that you've written, maybe perhaps in your book, for people to, because also like come to the show, but also buy her book.
Yes.
But let her sample something that she's been able to do, so that your untold stories become told, and we go with the stories in our hearts.
Yes, so one of the pieces I really wanted to read out today was based on... I wanted to read this one out because when I was writing this piece, I paired it with a photo shoot as well.
Okay.
To have the idea of pictures and paragraphs where you get to freeze frame a moment while getting to sit down and describe it in depth. Getting to paint the picture with your poetry while also taking a picture worth 1,000 words. So that one you can find on my Instagram at Muthoni the Muse.
Muthoni the Muse.
But let me read for you guys Petrichor.
This is your camera. Yeah.
Petrichor by Esther Muthoni. From the smooth pyramid of my nose, paradise gets in. And I sniff and heave to let her through. The car window is open, slightly. And as fresh tires trudge on gravel, we pass by my mistress, and she smells so good. All the changing colors of the wet leaves and stumps slip sultry past the first crack of the window. My finger anticipated this opening and caressed the button, eager and lucky to sense what nature perfected. The rain poured its heart into the soil. She fed him sensuality, and out of them, the climax of life most serene. My lady grew and spread her brown body through the air, littering green as she sheds for me, for them, for her, piercing. As she traces her nails across the plexiglass, arching onto the road to hold me. I close my eyes, faking dead like one of her cold mummies, so she'll get close to me and set me alive. Mine is ours, as such beauty cannot be hidden when she's near. And such peace can't be pawned. In this furious metal box, steaming death into the sky, I am wed to mere imitations of her. Teakwood, oak, rose, lilac, fragrance holds my wrist, smothers my neck. We cover ourselves in marital sheets, committed to trying to make us feel like how I do with mine. My lady blows and ropes my mind into nothing but her. She grabs my face and blows bliss. Thank you.
Oh my God. You almost took us to church. What was that piece about? Yeah.
So this poem is called Petrichor, and it's about
Petrichor.
Petrichor. That's the name for the smell of rain, which is very timely because today I got to enjoy it in the morning.
You could be the reason why we are in rain now.
It's the joy of getting to steal glances with nature. It's getting to sit down and enjoy the pleasures of things that are more mundane in a way that's deep and expressive and lets you sit with it for long enough to enjoy it fully. And I think that's the basis of what poetry is for me. It's getting to sit down and humanize moments that people would let pass by and let go unnoticed. It's to sit down and look, to be the witness of your life or to be the witness of someone else's experience truly. And that's what I hope we'll get to do at Pictures and Paragraphs. At Penmanship's Pictures and Paragraphs.
Pictures and Paragraphs.
This Saturday at the Rift.
there's also a risk in creating such a platform, because poetry is one of those things, and if you don't get it, forget about it. It's like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. So yes
that's the thing that I want to try dismantle with penmanship.
The
idea of poetry is something that a lot of us enjoy. It's just that we don't feel the confidence in our own poetic abilities. We don't feel the confidence in our own use of the pen. Reading poetry a lot has shown me that people write very differently. As someone whose poetry is going to be very direct and to the point, a lot like Rupi Kaur's work, where she's very short and concise and direct to meaning.
And deep also at the same time.
Or there's some people who might even want to speak in olden Shakespearean English and try and learn how to use the sonnet format. The people who decide to rhyme. Poetry has so many different layers to it, so many different ways that the personhood of the poet goes into their work. Too much for us to make it look like it's just for a select group of people, to make it look like it's just if you get it, you get it. No, it's so diverse and different. You've just not found the one you get yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that way then, because like with the previous one that you did, do you get a chance to go out to the audience who are not necessarily poets, and just ask them, like, did they understand? What did they get from this? What are some of the responses that you get?
Yes.
Yeah.
So during the first one, we had, like, it was lovely having the poets there who are very involved in getting to share their work and getting to teach other people. Like Mumo brought up his notebook where he sketches and removes when he's learning his work. And there's so much vulnerability in Bintaisha's presentation of where she learns her poetry from, and in showing that there's so much openness in getting to learn poetry when people who are secure in their poetry and they're open to teaching other people. And as a result, the crowd was very responsive to that. We had writing exercises after, where we sat in groups and we did this sort of this exercise where you write one line, then pass it on to the next person, write one line, pass it on to the next person. The group I was in was a lot of different kinds of people. There were photographers, those models, those just people who are into fashion, those illustrators, just sat down and each writing one word as we were busy talking about different things. One was telling me about Jujutsu Kaisen, and getting to sit down and express poetry in a way that lets us all tap into it. Because the piece we ended up with was very beautiful. It was a beautiful piece that I was very proud of us showing. And you could feel the pride in the people writing the lines as well. In as much as poetry might not be something that they identify with yet, getting to see the joy in their eyes as we had the group presenter go read out what we compiled, the joy of, I did that one. Me, I'm the one who did that line actually. Me, I can do that. The joy of seeing themselves in poetry in a way that they didn't think they could. That's something that I'm really grateful I got to achieve with penmanship.
There's something that I want you to talk about a little bit. You said that people that are secure in their poetry journey, yourself, getting into yourself as a poet, has that been a journey of being secure about your writing?
I think in part, yes. There's a combination of allowing yourself to be expressive, and a lot of that is creating safety in yourself, creating safety in allowing yourself to be seen. And a lot of allowing yourself to be seen is allowing yourself to be seen and not like it, like letting yourself write the cringy piece, write the piece you don't enjoy, because you can't edit a blank page. You'd rather just put it out there and then see how you feel after. So in creating the security for me, what helped me a lot was there's a quote for write drunk, edit sober that I use a lot when I'm writing, where I write in the heat of emotion. And I find my best poetry has been when I allow myself to be the most me, not to try and tap into a specific other person's style of writing, but to let myself enjoy my work first before I show it to other people. And that has been through letting myself write the crazy thing in my head, allowing myself to put it down first, even in as much as it looks messy and insane. my notes app has seen a lot of revisions, a lot of changes before we finally put it together somewhere. Like when I was coming up with the one for the cockerel head, I sat down and I thought about that and I was like, like I laughed about it a bit because I was like,
it's funny.
That's yeah. But the poetry piece that came from it is very deep and melancholic, but with this hint of hope and joy, which is something that it wouldn't have come up if I didn't let myself write the embarrassing thing, let myself write the thing that could either be taken properly or it might not work out. Like allowing yourself to trust your execution of your ideas is what I'd say builds that security in yourself as a poet and as an artist as well. Like in every sense, letting yourself feel comfortable enough to execute your whims, to let that inner child in you that comes up with ideas and comes up with stories, the storyteller in you, giving them space.
Yeah. Is there a place that your mind never wanders to?
That I never write about?
No. Like you can think about any and everything, but as you've said, not all stories necessarily get written on pen and paper, but like I'm just trying to understand the mind of a poet, like the dynamic mind of a poet. Are there places that you never go to?
I know a lot of poets talk about how a lot of them write not just from their experience, but from the experience of other people as well. That they sit down to let themselves tap into the thought process of someone else deeply. I feel like because a lot of my poetry is very based on myself and based on my own experiences, I'd say the space that I don't really wander off to is I wouldn't write from the perspective of someone who's so different from me. I'd find it difficult to capture that idea fully because I'd be writing and going, walai, like you think that for real. Especially when it comes to expression, I'm very big on allowing people to be and allowing people to be themselves openly. So I wouldn't sit down to write about suppressing people's identities or to write about suppressing people's personhood, to write hate on people. That's something that I'd find very difficult to to be honest about, because even when I do write hateful stuff about people, it's like I'd say the only one that is when it's still reliant on my expression of my feelings. It's not me sitting down to shame on someone else's character, the own personhood of them, because like at the end of the day we're all human beings, and being human is morally neutral in the sense that live and let live is what I'd say. And so even in my writing, a lot of the time that theme of live and let live, it stays there even as I let myself live and let myself sit in my experience as deeply as I can. Like the piece I was talking about the one I was thinking about when I was thinking about like the hate piece I thought of was one that I wrote called Bloody Situationships. You can tell Nairobi has been doing a number, man.
Now we need to talk about that. What is Nairobi doing to your heart?
Oh gosh, like, hey, like,
where do you get all these situationships? They get you. They find you.
They find me, man. I think I'm just great. I'm a magnet, and I can't help it. What can I say?
So a magnet that is pulling my situationships.
Yeah, we live and let live.
Oh my God.
My heart is too big. My heart is just too big, you know. But like I feel like another perspective that I wouldn't write from, which is I think why the situationships thing is a common theme, the idea of opposites attract. Someone who's very emotionally deep and expressive, it's more likely that the people who look to them and look to them as an idea of they're expanding something from them, so they feel attracted to them. Would be someone emotionally unavailable.
Oh my goodness! So, is this what some of this your situations?
This is the lot we've been cast.
Is it frustrating?
Very.
Oh my goodness!
Very much so. But it makes for good writing, and so that's the point.
It's like there are two sides of a coin.
Write about the people who heartbreak you guys. Write about them. They can't have been doing that for nothing. You have to write.
You have to turn that into content.
You have
in
to.
one way or the other.
Yeah.
Ay. So the broken piece. Anyway, let's not go there.
Even the piece from Pictures and Paragraphs, it touches on that a bit as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it something that you I mean, this is a very absurd question to ask, but I mean, the same mind frame that you're in, maybe writing about a situationship, for example, would it be the same that you go in when you talk about maybe something like light, as you are explaining? It's different stories require a different sense of locking in and zooming in. How does it happen for you?
It's about like allowing yourself to free fall into the emotion you're feeling is how I describe it. When I write about romance, when I write about things that are more political, like there's a piece that I wrote about the protest that we had last year, and it's about sitting and letting yourself feel the thing you're running away from, allowing yourself to sit down and hold it fast long enough for you to write that poem is something that I'd say is the common theme, but the feelings are different. It could be a feeling that's really happy, a feeling that's really painful, but I think a lot of society is based on muting. There's the idea of you have to make yourself a bit less so that you can conform, that you're a bit more palatable. So letting yourself sit with the parts of you that are not palatable, that are not easy to handle, that are not easy to look at and easy to see, and letting yourself hold that long enough to write about it. That's the headspace I'd say is necessary for writing about these things.
Oh, wow. Love that. We are out of time. So I want us to, if you can read us one more poem, and then we will tell the people why they absolutely have to be at penmanship. I always joke here that if you have a wedding on that day, but penmanship is happening, you'll have to cancel it. Me who has a wedding on Saturday.
Why are people getting married in this rain?
People are getting married
in this economy. You're getting married.
Yes, people are. Imagine.
Can you?
Yeah. I always joke about it, and now this time around, oh my God, my friend is getting married on Saturday, and I really wanted to come, but
the wedding party you guys can do it at penmanship.
We can. That's a good bargain. Okay. That's a good bargain. And the good thing is it's in the evening, so we're or the other, we can try and
take the photos there. Rift is such a beautiful place. You take your reception shots.
I miss the evening party. Yeah,
bring the party.
Anyway, other than that, please make sure that all roads are leading towards, where did you call it again? Rift at Westlands.
Yes. On 2nd May.
On 2nd May. That's this Saturday from 5 p.m. all the way till 8 in the p.m.
Yes.
All right. She's gonna read
the
us.
piece I'm going to read for you is the one I was talking about the cockerel and about hope. So this one is As Hope Dies by Esther Muthoni. When hope of the impossible is slaughtered, he dies loudly and slowly. Headless and heedless without reason, he runs around spewing blood from his severed neck, and the trail is felt as crimson burns the ground. And the gargling of more bubbling bleeding is deafening. Deep in Hope's thoughts, he lies and faces you half blind as the two-dimensional cockerel head, one eye buried in the earth's grave, as sand envelops it. Unable to see anything more than this new loss and darkness, while the other follows you and judges you for letting him end and for ending his song. As his body slows down, hope is a star destined to burn and feed us with what's beyond him. When hope of the impossible ends, his fragile offspring, accepting reality, is stuck below our living swaddle of feathers. We are fed completely, and life sustains meaning. The cockerel is nested in feeble straws, grasping tomorrow, screaming for it every morning, crying to keep the familiar comforts of each day together. The coward shocks us all in his last spectacle, in the courage it takes to sing a new song, a song of the dying embers of phoenix in foaming ash. hope of the impossible tries to outrun death, and we run with him. Thank you.
What's that about?
So that's the one where I used the metaphor of a cockerel and
that's the
hope
one.
of impossible.
Okay.
So the hope of the impossible, the hope of something that you know is not going to happen, the hope of a loved one coming back after they've passed, the hope of a job opportunity coming around after the rejection, the hope of something that is impossible, that is not going to happen. It keeps going, it keeps living, even after the reality, that even after the peace that you should have accepting the reality, the hope keeps going. And it's an ode to the courage it takes to keep hoping for something even when it doesn't look like it is possible, which is something that I want to leave you guys with today, to keep that hope up, to keep hoping for the thing that you know is not, it doesn't feel plausible, to keep holding on to it, because that's what it needs to do. You need to hold on to it until its time comes.
Love that. Right. Final. Why should everybody literally drop their lives and come be part of the penmanship this Saturday?
Everyone should be part of the penmanship.
Threaten them on this camera.
They should all be part of the penmanship because you're all poets.
Okay.
Poetry paints pictures, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. So come see us put those together. Come see us take beautiful photos and paint beautiful pictures. And this is something you don't want to miss. This is an incredible project. Fresh work we worked on this month. A beautiful cross-disciplinary work that you will not see anywhere else. Come for penmanships, pictures, and paragraphs.
Alrighty. Thank you. Muthoni the Muse, we see you at the penmanship. Thank you so much for creating, first, for flattering us that all of us have talents, even those people for hidden talents and everything. It's an odd and what a homage for people who don't have talents to come back and be part of the penmanship. But secondly, thank you for convening such a beautiful platform, and I hope that it grows and grows. By the way, what's the vision of penmanship? Maybe in the next 5-10 years, what do you hope it's gonna be?
I hope penmanship is going to be a space that unites a lot of poets.
Yeah.
I'd love to have the joy of someone growing in their creativity as a poet and growing in learning about poetry, getting connections and knowing that they got it through penmanship would make me very happy. The idea that I was able to impart this confidence and joy that I get to share in my work to other creatives and get to build them and let them feel the joy of succeeding in their work as well.
Yeah.
That's what I'd really love for penmanship to do, to stall the idea that creativity is scarce and the idea that we need to keep gatekeeping it, but to explore growing that space for us and having the safety of a beautiful space to grow.
All right.
That's what I want for penmanship.
Okay, cool. Awesome. I think and you are right on your way towards that. So thank you so much for coming. And
of course,
we hope to see you at the penmanship.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope to see you at your wedding party.
With my wedding party, I'm gonna be overdressed. I hope not. Oh gosh,
it will be okay.
Yeah, come. I just come in my heels and my 10 tons of makeup. Oh my goodness. Sawa, we will be there. Yes, guys, that's it from us. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend your morning with us as we kept you company. I hope you're feeling warm and fuzzy and all the things in this Nairobi weather. Me, I've gone to sleep. Bye. See you when I see you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Umenitesa nimetosheka, roho imezoea, ukitoka ninajua leo sitatulia, kile nafikiria huna idea, yale napitia, I know you know. I watch you put on makeup, standing by the mirror, your vibration is familiar. Yeah, it's a trigger, nakumbuka ukiweza kunifurahia. I wish you would stay, but I know you moved on. Nakujua tena sana. find it so confusing when you lie, love. It gets so lonely. Usiku tanipata na mawazo. You say you love me, but najua uliniachanga kitambo. Najua uliniachanga kitambo. Oh. Najua uliniachanga kitambo. Nimezeka, so sitakasirika. Nimeona ya dunia, sitalipishia. Utenda utatendwa, kwanza na unayempenda. Binadamu akiumia, bado atarudia. Nakujua tena sana, nikikuona najua kile unawaza. And you know, naeza jua ukidanganya. So I find it so confusing when you lie, love. It gets so lonely. Usiku tanipata na mawazo. You say you love me, but najua uliniachanga kitambo. Najua uliniachanga kitambo. Oh. Najua uliniachanga kitambo. Oh. It gets so lonely. Usiku tanipata na mawazo. You say you love me, but najua uliniachanga kitambo. Najua ushamua misi wako.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Pawa